12 News Eye on Agriculture with Britton Rucker.
Sales of tractors and combines taking a major hit across the U.S. and Canada. We'll break down the new numbers and what they mean for the ag economy and how these drops are hitting close to home with layoffs announced at a Kansas manufacturing plant. And we are tackling some important financial and legal tools that could help shape your future. We'll break it down with an expert just ahead. Good evening and welcome to Eye on Agriculture. I'm Britton Rucker. Florida officials are tallying up the damage to agriculture caused by Hurricane Milton. The state's Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services estimating total losses between $1.5 billion to $2.5 billion. Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture says with 4 major hurricanes in just over a year, agriculture communities in the state have already been hit repeatedly, causing unprecedented financial strain. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission is probing farm equipment maker John Deere over the company's repair policies. The investigation focuses on repair restrictions manufacturers place on hardware or software, often referred to by regulators as impeding customers' right to repair the goods they purchase. Deere says the company is cooperating with the FTC. The FTC declined to comment. Now, the FTC is probing whether Deere violated the Federal Trade Act Section 5. The law prohibits unfair or deceptive practices affecting commerce, and the FTC has recently used it in a broad array of cases, including against Amazon and pharmacy benefit managers. Now, Deere already faces lawsuits from U.S. farmers over whether its repair policies violate antitrust law. U.S. sales of tractors continuing to see a decrease. They dropped 19% in September 2024 compared to the year before, as according to new data from the Association of Equipment Manufacturers. Sales to combines also fell during the month, dropping 41% compared to 2023. The senior vice president of the Association of Equipment Manufacturers says these declines point to overall softness in the ag economy, and the U.S. is not alone in these declines. Canadian sales of ag tractors also dropped in September 2024. With ag sales lagging, it's having an impact here at home. AGCO announced layoffs at its Heston, Kansas facility. Fire officials in Sumner County say a hot bearing sparked a combine fire Monday afternoon. Mulvane Fire Rescue shared these photos from the scene. The agency says the fire spread to the engine compartment, which was full of diesel fuel. Crews were able to get that fire out and no one was hurt. According to the International Energy Agency, oil and gas prices will probably be lower over the next 5 years. Energy prices soared following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This followed a rise in global demand as economies reopened following COVID lockdowns. But the agency says oil and natural gas supplies will increase in the second half of this decade. The Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks will hold a public auction for surplus of bison next month. A total of 66 bison will be available for auction from Maxwell Wildlife Refuge. KDWP says that bidding and non-bidding parties are welcome and encouraged to attend. If you're interested in going, the auction will take place November 6th at 11 a.m. at the Maxwell Wildlife Refuge in McPherson County. Coming up on Eye on Agriculture, the cost of beef hitting record highs this year, and those prices are projected to climb even more. Well, one business in Texas is now doing. That's ahead on Eye on Agriculture.